Guys, and good morning. Fox News alert now. The Ebola emergency here in America. A second person now in isolation after showing possible signs of Ebola. A sheriff's deputy being tested for the deadly virus after just entering the apartment of that infected Liberian national. He just went inside the apartment. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer. Welcome here to America's Newsroom, where we're going to try and sort out the fact from the fear again today on this. Good morning,
and
Martha.
There's a lot of both going around right now, so we'll sort that out. I'm Martha McCallum. So if he tests positive, the police officer will become the first person to contract Ebola on American soil. This news coming yesterday, just hours after Thomas Eric Duncan died from the deadly virus.
Casey Stiegel leads our coverage live outside Presbyterian Hospital there in Dallas, Texas. How is the patient doing, Casey?
Well, Bill, the good news this morning is that he does not have a fever, and any doctor will tell you that is one of the very first symptoms of Ebola in the very early stages, which is why they're talking about doing these temperature screenings at airports where people are coming in from West Africa. Apparently, he woke up yesterday, had an upset stomach, some aches and pains, so he went to a local urgent care facility, and they are erring on the side of caution, and they brought the deputy, Michael Monig, here to Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas, the same hospital, incidentally, where Thomas Duncan was treated. Now, the Dallas County Sheriff's deputy was one of 5 who accompanied health officials to the apartment where Thomas Duncan had been staying with his family. The CDC tells us that he was not, repeat, not exposed to any body fluids, but he apparently was not wearing any protective gear when he went inside that apartment unit. So now he is being tested for Ebola. It can take upwards of 2 days to get the official test results.
And Duncan's family now, wow, the news has to be tough there. How are they doing?
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously they are mourning the loss of their loved one, but there's also a level of worry that they may face the same fate, because after all, they were crammed inside that tiny apartment with the illness for days and days and days. Remember, Ebola has a maximum 21-day incubation period, so they are under quarantine until the 19th of October, more than a week to go until they would be considered in the clear. Still, they are asymptomatic or not showing any symptoms. Louise Troe is Duncan's girlfriend, and she released this statement from quarantine yesterday. It reads in part, I'm quoting here, "I hope that you will keep my family in your prayers. This has dramatically changed our lives, and we will be grieving for a long time. May Eric rest in peace." Mr. Duncan's body will be cremated, one of the safest methods to dispose of a body, because Ebola can live inside a dead body for days, Bill.
Casey Stiegel in Dallas on those developments today. Martha has more now.
Well, because of all this, getting through customs may take a little bit longer, as 5 major U.S. airports are adding additional screening for Ebola symptoms this weekend. New York's JFK, Newark, Dulles, O'Hare, Atlanta International, all will be checking temperatures of about 150 passengers, looking for fevers and any other symptoms that they might have. Critics warn that the added screening would not have caught Thomas Eric Duncan, the first Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S., because he was asymptomatic when he arrived.
Well, meanwhile, airport workers in New York City going on strike over Ebola. Did you see this image here in New York?
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Some 200 cabin cleaners picketing outside of LaGuardia Airport. The protesters say they're worried about what they call the unsafe working conditions there.
Workers have been exposed to blood, to urine, to feces. We've heard stories about people emptying tanks and caps falling off and being doused with feces, the contents of a bathroom toilet, if you can believe it.
Some of those people he was sitting with might be coming here in New York City, you know, and we don't want who's cleaning inside the plane, that area, you know what I mean? And it's like, we can get the sickness very easily.
Well, they are picketing again this morning. We'll take you there live in our next hour. No word yet from the airlines or the airport on what they are willing to do to address this issue. What do you think? At home, at work, on your mobile device, Ebola, legit concern or too much hype? Send us a tweet at Bill Hemmer and at Martha McCallum, and we'll share some of those throughout the day. This sheriff's deputy in Texas, we mentioned all he did was go inside and serve the warrant. What Mark Siegel will tell you is that it's an amazing thing right now, given the screw-ups down in Dallas so far, is that you have not seen more people contract the virus. And he believes that's partly because Ebola is tough to catch. And the Ebola virus itself has not changed or mutated. We want to keep it right there.
I think over the next 7-8 days is going to tell this story. We'll see whether or
During the
not more people
incubation
get it.
period.
Absolutely.